You have a decent salary. You pay your bills on time. You are not doing anything obviously wrong with your money. And yet, at the end of every single month, you look at your bank account and wonder where it all went. If that feeling sounds familiar, this video is going to explain exactly why it keeps happening. And the answer has nothing to do with discipline, nothing to do with budgeting apps, and nothing to do with your morning coffee. The answer is a mechanism so perfectly designed and so socially invisible that most salaried workers never identify it in their entire working lives. And by the end of this video, you are going to see it clearly. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. If this is the kind of content that makes you think differently about money, hit subscribe right now. New video every Saturday on Half Bytes. Takes 2 seconds. Let us start with a number. The average American salaried worker gets a raise of around 3 to 4% per year. Sounds good on paper. Sounds like progress. But here is what nobody tells you about that raise. By the time it reaches your bank account, it has already been divided up by people you have never met and systems you never agreed to. Your employer takes their cut through payroll taxes before the money ever leaves the building. The federal government takes their share based on your new higher bracket. Your state takes theirs. And what lands in your account is often 55 to 60 cents of every dollar you were promised. But that is just the beginning. Because what happens next is where the real damage is done. Here is where it gets personal, because what I am about to show you is the mechanism that is quietly running in the background of every salaried worker's financial life right now. It is called the consumption escalator, and it works like this. The moment your income goes up, your spending goes up to match it. Not because you are irresponsible, not because you are weak, but because every single system around you is designed to make sure that happens automatically. Meet Ryan. Ryan is 31. He works in marketing, makes $68,000 a year, got a promotion last year to $79,000. On paper, that is an $11,000 raise. After taxes, Ryan took home about $6,600 more per year. That is $550 extra per month. Ryan did what any reasonable person would do. He moved to a slightly nicer apartment, $300 more per month. He upgraded his car lease because the new salary meant he qualified for a better vehicle, $180 more per month. He started eating out slightly more often because he finally felt like he could afford it, around $120 more per month. That is $600 per month in new spending on a $550 per month net raise. Ryan is now $50 per month worse off than before his promotion. And Ryan has no idea. Because every single one of those decisions felt completely reasonable at the time. This is the consumption escalator, and Ryan is not unusual. Ryan is the average. Now look at this data. Since 1975, real median wages in the United States have increased by approximately 22% after inflation. Over the same period, the personal savings rate collapsed from 17% to under 5%. Wages went up, savings went down, not because people got worse at managing money, because the consumption escalator absorbed every dollar of real wage growth before it could become wealth. And here's the thing that makes this especially difficult to escape. The escalator does not just run on your own decisions. It runs on social pressure. When the people around you upgrade their lifestyle, your baseline shifts automatically without you even noticing. A car that felt perfectly fine last year starts feeling inadequate when your colleague shows up in something newer. The escalator is not just financial, it is psychological, and it is running constantly. But here's the part that changes everything. And most people never get this far in the video, so they completely miss the most important point. Because knowing the escalator exists is not enough. You need the specific mechanism to stop it. And that mechanism is simpler than you think. If this is making you rethink your last 3 financial decisions, hit subscribe. Because next Saturday, I am covering exactly why your 401k fees are silently destroying your retirement. The number will genuinely shock you. Hit subscribe so you do not miss it. Here is what actually works. First, implement what behavioral economists call a pay-yourself-first system. The moment your paycheck arrives, automatically redirect a fixed amount to a separate investment account before you can spend it, not what is left over at the end of the month. The first dollar's in. This works because the consumption escalator runs on available money. Remove the money before your brain registers it as available, and the escalator has nothing to run on. Second, freeze your lifestyle for 90 days after every raise. Do not change a single spending line for 3 months after your income goes up. Bank the entire net increase. At the end of 90 days, you will have 3 months of the raise saved. More importantly, you will have proven to yourself that your current lifestyle is completely survivable, because the pain of not upgrading is always worse in anticipation than in reality. Third, measure the right number. Most salaried workers measure their financial health by their income, how much they make. But income is the wrong number. The number that actually tells you how you are doing financially is your savings rate, the percentage of your take-home pay that you redirect into assets every single month. A person making $50,000 with a 30% savings rate is building more wealth than a person making $100,000 with a 5% savings rate every single time. Fourth, understand that every lifestyle upgrade is a one-way door. You can upgrade your rent. You almost never downgrade it. Every spending level you lock in because of a raise becomes a floor you have to maintain even when income gets volatile. And income always gets volatile eventually. And here is the uncomfortable truth that ties all of this together. The consumption escalator is not your fault. It is the cumulative result of a marketing industry that spends $300 billion per year figuring out how to convert your income into their revenue the moment it arrives in your account. Every upgrade you make generates profit for someone, your landlord, your car company, your food delivery app. The entire consumer economy is an escalator specifically engineered to ensure that rising incomes produce rising spending rather than rising wealth. The only way off the escalator is a deliberate decision to measure a different number, not income, savings rate, not gross salary, net worth, not how much you earn, how much of what you earn you actually keep. So here's where I want to know where you land. Option A. You think the broke, despite a good salary feeling, is fundamentally a personal discipline problem and better habits are the solution. Option B. You think the system is specifically designed to absorb income growth and individual behavior changes can only go so far against that design. Option C. You think both are true and the answer lives somewhere uncomfortable in the middle. Drop your answer in the comments because this one hits differently depending on where you are sitting when you watch it. And if this video made you think differently about your salary, hit subscribe, because every Saturday on Half Bytes, we cover exactly how money systems actually work, not how you were told they work. Half Bytes, full picture.